Welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt, and I generally make FPV related videos and content. And today's video is going to be a little bit different because we're going to be talking about FPV and AI tools and how I believe there's a way to merge the two where we're actually streamlining our workflow and making little tools either for ourselves or for other people where we can actually get things done in a much simpler way, much faster. And if you're helping others with it, maybe you can sell it to somebody or whatever you want to do. I am going to put together a little program here. Hopefully, we'll see how it goes. This is going to be a ride-along session where I actually code it with you guys. And we're going to be using a couple different AI tools to do it. I've got some test footage here. And what I really am trying to get out of this is a video converter that's going to convert AVI to MP4 or something similar. .mov is fine as well. Yes, you can do all of this without coding an AI program or whatever it is that you want to call this. You don't need to do any of this to get that done. In fact, you can actually make yourself a little quick action and you can have it just reformat it to an MP4 in like 3 seconds. But that's not the point. The point is that we can actually do a lot with something like this, and I just want to kind of like demonstrate that, and maybe it'll help you guys spark some ideas of what you can do in relation to the FPV hobby, because I think there's some room for growth, especially in the workflow space. People are dealing with a lot of files. I've got probably over 10 terabytes worth of drone footage. I'm sure there's other people out there that have tons of footage as well. I don't like to delete stuff. And I'm probably on the lower end of the storage scale there. I'm sure that there's people out there that have a lot of stuff and they're just trying to figure out how to manage it. For me personally, I hate these AVI files because they just don't play down very well. And I've had compatibility issues, or if I want to just like send this as a iMessage to somebody, it just gets all distorted and terrible. So I figured I'd make this little app and thought it'd be kind of fun to just bring you guys along. So if that sounds good, smash the like button. Let's get started. All right, so first up, there is a piece of software that I think we're going to use. It's called FFmpeg, which if you haven't heard of it, it's been around for a long time, and it's just a free open source piece of software that can do tons of stuff. It can do so much freaking stuff. It's unbelievable, but you do need to know code in order to get it going. Not a ton of code. I'm not a coder. I'm more of like a builder, if you want to call it that. I can kind of like come up with a concept of a piece of software. And now with these AI tools, it allows me to actually execute it, which I think is pretty cool. FFmpeg runs on a lot of software and platforms that you probably don't even hear about. But for instance, YouTube, I'm pretty sure they are using FFmpeg to encode their videos. And that means that they're taking whatever trash or good file that they're getting, they have to be able to take any kind of file, and then they're converting it into like probably 10 different formats at least, both for low res, high res, and then the different screen sizes and whatnot, and different frame rates and things like that. So they've got a very complicated operation going on in the background. All right, so I'm using a tool called Perplexity. This is actually the free tier, so you guys can sign up for this yourself. Super easy to use. If you haven't messed around with AI yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. It's groundbreaking. But this is a really good tool for research. And what it'll do is it'll scan the internet and come up with like 10 different sources of information. And then we can use that to feed the other AIs and kind of like compile data. So that's basically what we're doing, is compiling data. So let's say, so research FFmpeg and its functions. And we just want to get a lay of the land of what this tool can do. And then we just want to give it to the other AI. It's a little redundant because I'm sure it already knows all about this software. In fact, so you could just see a couple, we'll just pause on that. We could see a couple of the main functionalities of this piece of software. You can transcode, you could do basic editing, video scaling, super powerful, post-production effects. You could do streaming with it. You can use hardware acceleration for it, all kinds of filtering, metadata extraction, etc. And now with the AI tools that are coming out, they're able to scan images and tell you what's in the image. And they're using something called OCR, I believe. And that is OCR scanning. Right, so that's the optical character recognition, where they're actually converting images and into like a machine readable text. It's kind of cool stuff. That's been around for a while, but now that it's being implemented with the AI stuff, I think it's really getting quite powerful. So I'm going to copy this information because it's just good. And I'm using a tool called bolt.diy. Now, this is a tool that is an offshoot of bolt.new. We're going to talk about all kinds of AI tools. It is essentially the same piece of software. The only difference is this you're paying $20 a month for. And it's using, I believe it's using Claude on the back end. Claude is yet another AI tool. And it's actually quite good as well. I don't think I've come across a bad AI tool, to be honest. But bolt.diy is a locally run service. Let's see here. I've got my terminal here. And what I'm doing is I'm actually running this locally. And how you can do this yourself is you just pull the GitHub repository for it and you literally run the script, and I'm running it locally. You can even put it into Docker if you're more advanced. I'm keeping it simple right now, and I'm just running the script in the background. That allows me to run this. The advantage of running this over the paid version is that I can use whatever AI on the back end that I want. Because what bolt.anything does is it basically is a tool that you can use for coding, and it gives you a really good interface to do all that with. On the back end, like I said, it's already using Claude in the paid version. When you run it yourself, you can actually choose out of all these different choices what it is that you want to run on the back end. So you can run Grok, which is X's version. I'm on the XAI Grok beta, and we can use OpenAI, which is ChatGPT, and you can use Anthropic, which is Claude. With that said, you do have to have an API key for these things, and you do have to pay for the credits to use the API. Until the end of the year, Grok/X is running a deal where you can use their system for free. You get $25 worth of credit per month. So you really have like 11 days to take advantage of that. But you can mess around with this stuff for free if you wanted to. You'd have to just go to X, find the API dashboard, sign up for an API key, and that's pretty much all you need to do. I don't even think you need a credit card to get done. Woo! It's a lot of talking. I apologize. All right, so let's actually go with Bolt.new because I know it's going to do a really good job. So let's say I want to create a simple drag and drop application, let's say web app, where I can upload a video file or set of video files and have a drop down where I can re-encode them to different extensions. Let's say where I can transcode them to whatever I need. For example, the more information we can give it, the better it'll do. So for example, I have .avi files that want to be turned into .mp4, etc. Please make me a, let's say, a modern, pretty interface using FFmpeg on the back end to do the work. Or actually, let's ask it what the best way is. Let's not tell it. Interface Let's just see what it does. I'm not even going to tell it. Let's try again. Unknown error. Oh boy. All right, let's try this again. We're going to reload. Oh, it kicked me out. That's why. Oh, classic. All right, let's try this again. Start new chat. Paste. Go. And what's great about this tool is it will create all the different files that are needed for the app to run. So now it's asking, I need you to inform you that video transcoding directly in the browser has significant limitations. While we can create a bit of browser-based and okay, backend service. So we'll have to talk to a backend service, create a simplified version that only handles browser-supported conversions. Right, because we don't want to crash the browser. I am okay with running FFmpeg on the back end from my computer. How would I link the two so that they can speak to one another? All right, and we're off to the races. Like I was saying, it's really great because they'll create all the different files that you need to do this. Now, it does take a little time, and you do have to kind of know what you're asking it. But the more you mess around with this kind of stuff, the better you get at it, and the better you'll understand what it needs to know to achieve what it is that you're trying to achieve. If that makes sense. I don't know. So let's see. All right, so we got a lot of stuff here. Okie dokie. I've created a full stack video transcoding solution. Very cool. With a modern, beautiful interface. Here's how it works. Beautiful drag and drop. Format selection drop down. All right, so let's actually just see what it does. Freaking awesome. So it sees that it's an AVI file, and I can choose my output. So the question is, what do we have this connect to actually do the processing? Because if I click this, it's not going to work. Let's see. Progress indicators. Okay, great. Download link for converted videos. Great. Backend. Make sure you have FFmpeg installed on your system. In the first terminal, start the backend. In the second terminal, start the front end. Right. Oh, I see. All right, so it's telling me not to run it here. We're going to download the file, and then we're going to run it locally on my machine. So to get that started, we're going to open a new terminal window, right, like this. Let me just move something here. All right, start a new terminal. So if you are not on a Mac, not sure how you would do this, you can also do it in a command line on Windows, but I use Brew. So we can just see if I have FFmpeg already. I think I do. I do. All right. So let's do Brew update. Let's just make sure that we're up to date. And that's going to run and take forever to run. And what Brew is it's basically a front end to install a ton of software that you normally wouldn't be able to just easily do. It just makes things very simple. So let's see. Updated Brew upgrade. Brew upgrade. Go ahead. Yeah, it's going to run through and upgrade everything in the background. So while that runs, let's go ahead and make this prettier. Can we... Now, I think there's something we can use to get better colors. So I want like a front-end color picker. There was something that I heard about, and I can't remember what it's called. Color Hunt? Yes. All right, let's pick something FPV worthy. What's FPV worthy? Let's see. I want something badass. What's badass? None of these are badass. That is not badass. Maybe that one? Maybe that one? Let's take that as a sample. Just gonna screenshot it. Ooh, I like that one. That one's kind of cool. And that one's fine. Okay, we can do that for hours, and we don't want to do that. So now I've got my screenshots. Let's see. I think that's the one right there. And what's great about this is I can just, oh, you guys can't see this part. Hang on. I got to move myself. Whoops. Apologies. I'm going to put myself down here. So, whoops. Okay. So what I did was I dragged the screenshot here. This is why OCR is so great. And I'm going to say, can we please use these cool colors and these design elements in the interface? And what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to go over to my other screen because I've got, if I can find it, let's say Airtable. I want to see some, let's do this. Airtable interface examples. Let's see. Okay, I'm not even going to bother with that. Let's just stick to the colors. Let's see what it can do. Now, while that runs in the background, we're going to go ahead and come back to this, and we're going to check our, whoops. Okay, so now we've got FFmpeg. It's fully updated. Good to go. Alrighty. Now we're going to open up, let's see, we've got an error. Let's let it run. All right, so it is throwing me an error. And what we're going to do is we're just going to feed it back to it and say, I don't know. And we're going to see what it does. Sorry it's so dark. It gets dark at like 3 o'clock now. And my lighting's not, I need to work on my lighting. Let's see what we got. Oh, so much prettier. Do you guys see how like simple this is though? This is like quite simple. Cool. All right. So now it's saying, if I go back up, so these are the things that I need to do to run it, right? So we're going to hit download. We're going to download it to the test folder. Why not? Let's go in here. Bloop. Okay, so now we've got our project. These are all the files that we created. So now we're going to go CD, because we're going to change directories. We're going to drag and drop this on. Now we're in that project and we've got our files. I'm going to open up a second tab, which is also in that project, which is perfect. We're going to run the first command and we'll see if this actually works. Usually things are not this simple, so we shall see. Error module not found. Okay, so we got a problem. Can I find that? All right, so let's give this back. And I want to give it the command as well. And actually, let's ask ChatGPT, what does this mean? Your file JS likely contains something like import express from express contains express when Node.js tries to... Common reason, express is not installed. Okay. So we need express installed. Now, I do not have that installed. I can tell you that much because I've never heard of this software. So let's see what happens when I run this. I hope you guys are liking this because this is just like totally experimental. All right, so we've run things. There's a new version available. To update, run that. Sure, let's update. Might as well. If I'm gonna do this, might as well do it right. Looking for funding? Huh? Okay, let's try that command again. Let's see if this works. Okay, cool. So now we're running. Now we are running on a different port, so we should be good to go. On this second tab, we're gonna go back into here. Just make sure you guys can see all this. Yes, you can. Okay. Now we're gonna do npm run dev. So npm run dev. All right, so we are running technically there. So the question, the front end will connect to the back end running on port 3000. Are we running on port 3000? We are running on the port 3000. The front end will connect to the back end that is running on port 3000. You can drag and drop the video files. All right, so we want to go to this page now, and this should open my software technically locally. Boom. All right. Now we're going to drag and drop our file. Let's do a smaller one, and then we'll do the larger one. So let's just see. MP4, convert. And actually, let's run activity monitor so we could just see if things are spinning up, yay or nay. Because we're using a lot of horsepower for OBS right now. Convert. You can see things are spiking. Looks like it's working. We got FFmpeg here. That is working. How cool is this stuff? How freaking cool is this stuff? Conversion complete. Download. Hello, governor. This button might not be working. Let's give it a sec because it's doing a lot of stuff right now. In the interim, bloop, let's pop that out. I'm going to put this here. I want to run a second version of this. Whoops. All right. Now let's try it with multiples. Let's just throw 2 in there. Let's throw 3 in there. Apparently we could do 3. No, so it only takes the first one. So that's a change that I want to make. And then this download ain't working. So we're going to have to fix that. So we're going to kill that. Kill that. Although that is my, well, whatever. We'll let it die. We're going to close a couple of these because too much. And we're going to say, okay, this works great. However, dragging multiple files in doesn't work. Just shows the first one. I also want the ability to change the target format for each individual file. Let's say max 10. Also, is there a way to intelligently queue the transcoding? That way we're not throwing all 10 files at it at once. We want it to systematically go through each one. And we also want it to have a status for each one. We want to see how far along it's going. I also want a circle indicator of percent complete for each file, and it should say if it's queued, I can't spell right now, queued or not. Queued or complete. Lastly, the download button did not work. Should we have a download button per file? Not the best way to do it, but I'm trying to avoid having it zip everything up. And then you get into a thing of like, if it's not actually complete with the transcode, is it going to wait till everything's done and then give me my files? Or can I download files in the background while it's working on the rest of the queue? Personally, I would like to get the files as they come out, and then I can just kind of deal with them as they come out of the system. Again, this is just test software. I'm just showing you guys what's possible. I think this is really cool stuff. And I'm definitely working this into my workflow just in general, and been really impressed with it. So let's see how we do. All right. So now we've got added support. Great. We can also remove files. See, I didn't even ask for that. Progress tracking, current status, visual feedback, individual downloads. Downloads trigger automatically when clicked. Files are cleaned up after download. Perfect. We don't want to store anything that we don't need to. Processed one at a time. And we've got a queue and everything. Okay. So now, this is what we do again. We're going to kill those files because they're trash. We're going to download it again. Oakley dokley. Now I should be able to just restart these scripts right where they were because I didn't change any of the file names. Okay, so let's try this again. Let's see how we do. All right, so we've got our video transcoder back. Super cool. Let's do a baby file. MP4, convert. Now that's going, and let's see if FFmpeg jumps to the top, and we'll see if it's working. All right, so yes, it is working. You can see it's working right off the bat, and we have CPU usage bumped. And it looks like it completed. Download. Still not working. I'm gonna click it one more time and I'm gonna wait because I want to give it a full chance to actually work because the machine is it's getting hit a little hard right now. No, so download still doesn't work. That's okay. We're gonna refresh it. I want to see what it does with 3 files. Let's see if it just does the transcode process. It does not. I want to see if I'm actually caching the page, which is also possible. So let's just see here. Caching basically means that it would be holding on to the old page for speed reasons. All right, so let's try this. Yeah, so that still didn't work. Think about this. If I run it, it's also not going to work. It feels like it's using the old software. Let's see here. Okay, that's going. Download. Is not working. Okay. Let's go back here. Gonna say it is not handling multiple. It is not. It is not. Let's just see what it does here. I want to see if I drop the files in here, will it show me a different interface? Because that's going to be a big clue if it's running the old code or the new code. So let's see if I can do this again. It might hate that. It hates that. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay, we got errors. Good. That's what we need to see. All right, so now we can say attempt fix, and let's see if it can solve the problems. The errors occurred because we're not properly handling the file input into the drop zone. Here we go. And that's with AI. That's the glitz and glamour of AI is that, there we go. See, sometimes you just have to like tell it that it's being dumb and then it'll be like, oh, okay. So like if I hit start processing, it's not going to work. It's going to all error out, but that's okay because we expect that. We're going to download a fresh copy again, and I'm going to kill the script here, kill the script here. I'm going to delete that file. I'm going to delete the old guy here. All right, so we've got a new, fresh project. We're going to rerun the script. Cool. We're going to rerun the script. Super cool. We're going to go here. And it's already reloading. So that's good. Good stuff. You guys better be smashing that like button. Let's go here and let's empty cache hard reload. Let's make sure we get a clean slate. And let's see if we can get it. No, see, it's holding on to it. Now, I want to check Chrome. Let's go into Chrome itself. And let's just make sure that that things are working the way we expect it to. And what I mean by that is I just want to try it in a different browser here. So, all right, let's get rid of this. Crap. I never use Chrome. I use Brave. Basically Chrome, but better. More better. This does not look correct. Why would it not look correct, but it's giving me the files that are up to date? Let's think about this. It's giving me the files that are up to date. Give me a version number that will auto update as we make changes, so I know the interface is fresh. Little trick. We're just going to tag it with something. Cool. Okay, so we got that. All right. Next time I do an update, I don't want to waste the credits, but next time I do an update, I'll say, give me a timestamp. All right, so let's go here again. We're going to kill the script. We're going to kill the script again. We're going to trash the old project. Trash the old project. This is the newest, latest, allegedly. We'll see. All right. If I do a new LS, okay, we got everything there. We're going to run it. We're going to run it. Bloop. We're going to auto reload it. I'm just going to go ahead and do empty cache hard reload to make sure that we actually do that. Now, I want to see if this works. Still not doing it. Not happy about that. All right. Let's see if it can convert the file, if the download works. If it doesn't work, actually, no, we can tell it's already not going to work. It won't work already because we don't have our version number in the bottom right corner here. So something's not flowing through how it needs to. And I need to figure out why. Give me a fresh zip file to download. I wonder if the interface is just not able to give me a proper whatchamahoozy. Okay, zip. All right, let's try again. Go ahead and fix it, bro. Do your best. It's all right, we're just burning tokens. Hey, you guys could see this. So you pay for tokens. So you get 10 million for the low tier, $20 a month. Oh, shit. I did that while it was working. Let's try again. It doesn't like it when you check the tokens while it's working. It will break it all. All right, let's see how we do. And you guys got to let me know, are you enjoying this kind of content? Because this is stuff that I do every single day. And I'm thinking about doing, like, I might even do a whole new YouTube channel just on this stuff. Because I think it's just so interesting and helpful. All right, so we've got that. Let's try it again. We're going to try it again. That's the old one. This is the new one. We're going to name this something else. Sometimes the smallest change will help. So we will quit this. We're going to back out of the file. And we're going to CD into the new project. This is project number 1. Same thing here. We are going to CD into here. Now it has to see the new files. Module not found. I have to reinstall Express. Maddie, no like. Do that. All right, now let's try it again. Let's run the server. We're gonna run the server. Bloop. Okay. We're gonna close that. We're gonna do a freshie. And let's see how we do. Okay. We're getting somewhere. We've got a version number. So hopefully that means that things actually work. We're going to, let's do 1 first, and then we'll do a 3-er. Start processing. Let's see how we do. All right, so FFmpeg is already running. You can watch the CPU usage pop. We are not getting an up-to-date percentage of the file being worked on. Oh, but it just jumped to 100%, so that's cool. Let's see. Now we'll click download. That does not work. That still doesn't work. All right, but let's try this. This aside, let's see if we can do these three, because the video files are being processed. We're just not able to actually get to them. So the real question is, are we processing and are we doing it intelligently? So FFmpeg is running right now. So we want the button to update. All right, let's see here. All right, so first one's done. Looks like second one's being worked on. You saw that dip right there. CPU dipped. Now we're going back up. Still working. Beep, bop, boop. It's a larger file. I believe it's like twice the size. Yeah, so it's going to take twice as long. Probably. Okay, that's number 2. Number 3. So it's queuing and it's processing them in the order that I wanted it done. So that's good. We just need a good way of getting to our actual files, because if we don't have a method of getting the files, then this is all for naught. Let's see how we do. Still going. This one's big too, I think. Yeah, about the same size. So it's going to take probably about the same amount of time. Okay, so we got number 3, and they're not going to work. Not going to work. Not going to work. Okay, cool. Let's see. Update the version via timestamp, and the download buttons still don't work. Let's just fix the basics of the tool first, and then we can get into the nitty-gritty pretty stuff. While that works, I'll show you guys what I was trying to show you before, which is the token system. So I'm on the base tier, so I paid the $20 a month, and you get 10 million tokens. You will blow through these like insanely quickly if you're running it like I am. But I was at 5 million this morning, so I was at half this morning, and so I used 1.2 million tokens, whatever that is. You also burn a lot of tokens just on these kinds of stupid things. And that's just part of it, unfortunately. I think they're working on a method of either giving you tokens back or something, because a lot of times these errors are with the AI itself. It's not necessarily that you're giving it new instructions. And I think a lot of people are getting burned by that. So they're going to want to make changes in how that works. All right, so it's saying it's fixed. We'll try again here. All right, so that's our new boy. We're going to delete that. We're going to server restarted. You damn right, server's restarted. Oh, cool. It actually gave... I didn't see that before. Pretty cool. All right, so let's... 436. So this is the latest one. Okay. Rename it Project 1, because now it's looking for Project 1. So we've got an issue. Operation not permitted. Running node as a different user. All right, let's just make this project, and then I will suffer through reinstalling Express yet again, because I don't want to mess around anymore. So we're going to quit that. We're going to go CD. Nope. Hopefully this actually works. All right, we're going to do the update. Hey guys, it's Matt from the future, and I just wanted to give you a quick update because the end of the screen recording, I got to the point that I got to, and it just cut off. All the audio was bad and completely unusable. But I just want to walk through a few things that I did towards the end there that you're not going to see. So what ended up actually happening was I was getting the files, but the files themselves were bad, and I was just getting these empty MP4 files that were not working. So the interface itself worked. I was able to download the files, but they weren't actually working. And I just basically went back to the AI and said, hey, dude, go ahead and fix this because the MP4s work great, but they don't play. There must be an issue with the transcode process. And it fixed the codecs and it fixed all this stuff and added some error handling and whatnot. And this actually worked. So I was able to load the software again. This is the finished product. And I can just select, we'll just do 2 here just to show you. And I can hit start processing. And I'll open up the activity monitor so you could take a look. And we can even watch it here while it transcodes. So right now we're at 70, 80% and onward. Got our first file. And we can see it's still running at the top here. And it's running on the second file now. And if I click this, and we've got our file, and that's our MP4. And I'll give you a little preview of it. This is the original AVI. And I'm just going to turn the audio down so it doesn't blast you with staticky sounds. But that's the original. And here's our new MP4. So it worked flawlessly. And it's actually funny because it comes out a little smaller than the AVI file does. So I thought that was interesting. But yeah, in the end, this thing works. I haven't tried it with the other formats yet, but it's pretty much the same process. You would just pop it in, play around with it, see if it works, and then jump back to the AI and make your adjustments and whatnot. So if I really wanted to polish this up, I would include the real-time status percentage, because right now it just jumps from 0 to 100. So I would probably want that. And then I'd probably make a few other interface tweaks. But just as a proof of concept, I thought this was pretty awesome. And I think it's going to give a lot of pilots some new ideas of what they could be doing just to streamline their workflow and get things moving in a new direction for the hobby, because AI is here and there's some really cool tools that you can make with it that a lot of people are just not yet talking about. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, please let me know, smash the like button, and I'll catch you guys on the next video very soon.